YouTube, what's up? Welcome back to a new video. If this is your first time here on the channel, thanks so much for stopping by. Definitely check out some of my other videos, and if you like what you see, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. Greatly appreciate it. You guys, I'm gonna be real. I got 99 problems, and the backlog is definitely one. As gamers, I feel like we shared that challenge of the never ending backlog, right? And I have come to the realization where I'm never going to finish or completely wipe out my backlog. I'm always going to have one. So in the past, I would do a summer backlog challenge where I would take 5 or so games and focus on beating that throughout the summer, right? And that seemed to have worked back then just because, the summer didn't used to be as popping as it is now with new releases, right? It was more or less of a dry period, a dry spell for game releases, but that's not the case anymore. A lot of great games come out in the summer. So I switched it up last year and I did more or less of like a yearly backlog challenge. And I think that's the route I'm going to go from here on out. All right, so from my backlog, I do have 15 games that I want to focus on this year. I don't think I'm going to get around to all 15, but I have some options. If I don't like a game, then I'm going to stop playing it, right? I'm not going to force myself to beat a game just to beat it. So if I don't like a game, I have some options to pull from. And I want to try to beat at least 10 of these games. So hopefully that all works out. I feel like I should start off with the oldest game that's in this pile, right? It's Wario Land, Super Mario Land 3, or it could very well be Super Mario Land 3, Wario Land. Regardless, I really want to play this game. I've had this game in my collection for the longest time. Matter of fact, now that I'm saying that, I feel like I have all of the Wario Land games in my collection for the Game Boy, but I just have never played any of the Wario Land games, right? And it's crazy. I really think Wario is a fantastic character. I love Wario, love the WarioWare games, right? I've played those and absolutely love them. But for some reason, I've never played Wario Land, and I've heard great things about them. So I feel like it's time for me to take a stab at it. I'm super stoked because I may or may not have recently bought something that is going to let me conveniently play my Game Boy collection, Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance. So I'm excited. You guys can probably already guess what I bought, but yeah, Wario Land, Super Mario Land 3 will definitely be played this year. So if you know me, you know that I enjoy the Yakuza series, right? It's one of my favorite video game series. It is my Japanese soap opera that I absolutely love. One of my most anticipated games of this year was Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth. It just dropped. I started streaming it and I'm loving it to pieces, right? So despite me loving the series so much, I haven't completed all the games. And I do want to complete, this is the remastered collection, which comes with Yakuza 3, 4, and 5. I've completed 3. And now I'm going to work my way through Yakuza 4. There are a ton of games. There's a lot of story to be had in this series, right? I have beaten majority of these games. I just have not completed 4 and 5, which is why 4 is the focus for this year. I'm expecting Yakuza 4 to be a little rough around the edges like 3 was. Hopefully it's not as rough as 3. Hopefully the story's better. I have no clue what goes on in Yakuza 4. I don't know who you play as. I don't know what the focus is, but I'm excited to see it through and finally, hopefully, get one step closer to beating all the games in the mainline series. This is going to be the year. I can feel it in my bones. I can feel it in my bones. This is going to be the year that I complete Super Mario 64. The reason why I know is because I'm currently playing this game. This is the Super Mario 3D All-Stars that has the collection of Mario games, 3D Mario games on it, Mario 64, Sunshine, and Galaxy. This is how I've been playing 64. And I'm almost there. I'm not going the extra bit, the extra mile to get all of the stars. I am getting as many stars as I possibly need in order to see the credits roll. I don't want to go too in depth about Mario 64, right? I don't think it's a terrible game. I feel like it hasn't aged well. The controls aren't great, and that is hindering me from playing it. I don't hate the game, or okay, or else I wouldn't keep playing it. I wouldn't put it on this list. But I do feel like this is a game. I totally understand why it's revolutionary, why it was revolutionary to platformers. And I do want to see it through, and I will see it through. It's hard to play. These controls are so frustrating. So Grand Theft Auto San Andreas made an appearance last year on my Backlog collection video, and it's making an appearance this year as well. This is the trilogy, the Grand Theft Auto trilogy on the Nintendo Switch. I had an opportunity to play a lot of San Andreas, and I love what I've played through thus far. I haven't beaten it yet, and I need to go back into it, dig a little deeper and get through it. Great game. Definitely want to play through this to get me hyped for Grand Theft Auto 6, because that's supposed to come out not this year. No, it's not 2024, it's 2025. So definitely want to get through San Andreas, and maybe 2025 before 6 comes out, I'll play Vice City. Another game on my backlog that I want to complete this year, and to be quite honest with you, I definitely will complete this year because I'm nearly there, is The House of Fata Morgana. So I played a bunch of this back in October, during spooky season to get all those spooky feels. And I love it. It's a visual novel that is intense. And to be quite honest with you, that's the reason why I kind of put it down. I got to a chapter that was pretty hardcore and intense, and dealt with some heavy issues. That was a lot for me. It was a lot for me, and it was quite sad. So I put it down. And I definitely am going to pick it back up and get through the game. It's a fantastic visual novel. It's creepy. It's spooky. Visuals are beautiful. The music is great. And the writing, which is most important because it is a visual novel, is fantastic. So yeah, I know for a fact, absolutely certain that The House of Fata Morgana will be done this year. Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice looks fantastic. The sequel is coming out in May, I believe. That was just announced. And I definitely want to play through this and experience this before the sequel comes out because that looks great as well. I'm not quite sure what Hellblade is all about. I just know it looks phenomenal graphically, right? And I do know that it's like a little psychological. There's some type of psychosis that's being dealt with from the main character, I guess. I don't know too much about it, but everyone speaks so highly of it and say it's a great experience. That's quite unique, I guess. So yeah, definitely want to see it through. Heard it's not too long. I actually have this on the Xbox, but I do have it on Steam because I got that during like the Steam sale, and that was like $2. So I think I'm going to play it on my Steam Deck. We'll see. So this game hasn't been on my backlog for a while, but I am totally in the mood to play a new Ys game. So I figured might as well go with Ys 9 Monstrum Nox. I did get this day and date when it was released on the Nintendo Switch, and I guess it's not the best way to play Ys 9. It was a little rough. I only played about 30 minutes of it, and in hopes of them putting out a patch for the game to make it run just a little bit smoother. And I believe that's been done. So yeah, I'm going back to this and I'm going to play it. I couldn't tell you anything about the characters or the stories because I don't remember. And again, I only played 30 minutes of it, right? But the Ys games are just always a great time. Fantastic RPGs. I absolutely love the combat in these games, love the characters and the stories. They're just like, chicken soup for the soul, if you will. And it just makes they're feel good RPGs that I enjoy. Great sense of exploration and journey as well. So yeah, Ys 9. Hopefully, like I said, there's a patch for it that makes it run a little bit better on the Nintendo Switch. I cannot wait to finally hopefully complete Klonoa 2, Lunatee's Veil. So you guys know I enjoy platformers. I have completed the first Klonoa game, Klonoa Door of Phantom Isle, I believe. And that originally came out on the PlayStation, the original PlayStation, right? I played it, I think it was on the Nintendo Wii. There was like a remake or a remaster of that game, and I played through it and absolutely adored it. Such a fun game, great platformer that just felt different, right? So Klonoa 2 is one that has been on my backlog for a while, and I finally want to erase it off of my backlog. I feel like it deserves a playthrough for me, considering the fact that I enjoyed the first game so much, and I love platformers, right? I'm not going to be playing it on the PlayStation 2 though. I believe it's the Phantom Reverie collection or series came out for the Nintendo Switch, and I think the PS5, and that includes the first and second Klonoa game. So definitely going to be playing through Klonoa 2 this year and finally taking it off of my backlog. Castlevania Order of Ecclesia. Oh my gosh. I have been sitting on this game for the longest. This has been on my backlog for a very long time. I love me a good Metroidvania. Last year I finally completed the Game Boy Castlevania games, that trilogy. The last one that I needed to complete that trilogy, I believe, was Harmony of Dissonance. And I didn't really like it all that much. I don't think it was the strongest game in that trilogy. This is the last game that I need to complete in this DS trilogy, the last one that was released on the DS. And I've heard amazing things about it. I just finally need to get around to playing it. Now, I do also remember people saying that this game was extremely hard, and I'm hoping that's not the case. But even if it is, I feel like I'm more well-versed in Metroidvanias nowadays, right, than what I was in the past. Metroidvanias are easily one of my favorite like genres nowadays. So yeah, I heard this is a fantastic one. Like I said, can't wait to play it and finally complete this trilogy. Fallout New Vegas is a game that has been haunting my backlog forever. It honestly has. I'm familiar with the Fallout series. I played a bunch of Fallout 3. I'm not quite sure. I don't think I completed Fallout 3, but I played a bunch of it. That game spoke to me. It felt so familiar to me. And that's because I live in Maryland. And that game takes place in Washington, D.C. and parts of Maryland as well. So being able to play a game and go to different locations and know what it looks like in real life just was so familiar. It was so cool. It was awesome. Fallout New Vegas, I know nothing about. I don't know. But I know that everyone loves it. And I know that I enjoyed the Fallout series. I just want to see what all the hype's about. I also really like Obsidian. I mean, I played through the Outer Worlds, and I thought that was a great RPG, right? So I'm pretty sure I'm going to enjoy Fallout New Vegas. It's just a matter of me sticking through it. And I'm going to play that on the Steam Deck because, again, that's another game that I purchased when it was crazy cheap on sale on Steam. So yeah, I'll be playing Fallout New Vegas on my Steam Deck. So after I posted my last video, recent pickups video, I realized that I was missing 3 games. I didn't share with you 3 games. And one of those games that I got a couple days after Christmas, it went on sale, was the Batman Arkham Collection on the Nintendo Switch. And silly old me thought that Arkham Origins was a part of that collection. And I guess it's not because Rocksteady didn't make that particular game. But I do want to play it. Now, because Rocksteady didn't make that game, I'm not quite sure what to expect as far as the gameplay goes. I can't imagine it being any different than the other Arkham games, right? But it's an origin story, right? And I love the Arkham games, and I feel like it's only right that I play through Arkham Origins. Like, a lot of people kind of forgot about that game, but then the people that did play Arkham Origins said it's great, it's fantastic, has a really good story, gameplay's cool. So yeah, again, I have that on my Steam Deck, got it for crazy cheap. That game always goes on sale on Steam. I would have loved it if it was part of that collection that was just released for the Nintendo Switch, but unfortunately it isn't. So yeah, I've completed all the other games in the series, so it's about time that I get through Origins. As much as I love The Legend of Zelda, there are some games in the series that I haven't completed, right? So I haven't completed Zelda 2, I haven't completed Majora's Mask, and I also haven't completed Skyward Sword. And then there are two Game Boy Color games that were released, Oracle of Seasons and Oracle of Ages. And this is making another appearance in the backlog video because last year I put, I believe if it was Oracle of Ages, no, it might have been Oracle of Seasons. Regardless, this year, I do want to complete The Legend of Zelda Oracle of Seasons. I know once I start playing Oracle of Seasons, it's going to be a wrap. I'm going to enjoy it. To be fair, like I said, it was on my list, my backlog for last year, but I didn't even get around to playing it on my 3DS. And that's how I'm going to play this game on my 3DS. It's about time. If I love Zelda so much, I feel like I absolutely need to give these handheld Zelda games a chance. I've kind of been wanting to get like a traditional Zelda experience in there after playing Tears of the Kingdom, right? I'm kind of yearning for a traditional Zelda game. And I think this will be the great places to start. So I'm calling it now. The Legend of Zelda Oracle of Seasons will be completed this year. Back in 2019, everyone was ranting and raving about how amazing Disco Elysium was. Not too long after that, it was released on the Nintendo Switch. I bought it digitally, and it's kind of just been sitting on my Switch ever since. The reason I really want to get around to finally playing through this game is because of the writing. I love a good narrative. A lot of people say video game narratives aren't the best, and while that may be the case, there are some games that definitely stand out, and this is supposed to be one of them. So I have to see for myself. The great Ace Attorney made an appearance in last year's Battle of the Backlog video, right? And I obviously didn't get around to beating it. So that's why you see it now. And I really want to beat this game because from what I played of it, it is great. The writing is really good. I have laughed several times while playing it. The characters are great. There's just a lot of content in this particular little cartridge. There's like 2 full-fledged Ace Attorneys in this one little package, right? And if any of you guys out there have played an Ace Attorney game, you know those games can get a little lengthy. I don't even think I got through the full first case of this game before I got distracted by something else, but I am in the mood to play another Ace Attorney game. You know, the Ace Attorney trilogy just came out. No, Apollo Justice trilogy just came out. I picked that up, but I've played all of those games, right? This is something I haven't experienced, and I really want to. All right, so the last game here is definitely a pile of shame for me. I really should have completed this game by now. There's no excuses. It's Persona 5 Royal for the Nintendo Switch. I'm loving this game. I've been chipping away at it, but I just feel like I should have already completed it, right? This has been out for years, and I'm just now getting around to it. And the reason why I say it's like pile of shame for me is because of how much I absolutely loved Persona 4 Golden. There is no excuse why I haven't completed this game. There really isn't. I love the style. It's so stylish. The music is so great. The combat and the personas are awesome. I love everything that has to do with like what we know to be the Persona series. So like spending quality time with characters, going and finding that part-time job, and doing that. Just like the routine stuff and the character development is what brings me into this game, right? The story when I compare it to Persona 4 isn't as tight. I don't like the story as much as I did with Persona 4 Golden, but it's still good. You know what I'm saying? But I think that's the reason why it's taken me a while to get through this game. The style and everything is there. The gameplay is great. It's just the story isn't as intriguing as Persona 4 Golden was. But like I said, I'm chipping away at it, and I can't wait to cross it off of this backlog list because it will be completed this year. That is for sure. I'm so tired of feeling so much shame for being someone that enjoys the series, but not completing the one that everybody adores. All right, so those are the games from my backlog that I am focusing on this year. My goal, I'm setting out to beat at least 10 of them. I'm hoping I do. Fingers crossed, guys. Fingers crossed. I'm excited. I'm excited, especially for majority of these because they have been on my backlog for so long. And I really feel it. Like I said, I could feel it in my bones. 2024 is going to be the year where I cross some of these games off that list. Guys, let me know what games from your backlog you guys are focusing in on this year. I'd love to hear it in the comment box below. As always, I want to thank all of you for watching this video, and I'll check you next time. Peace.